Toastmaster. I hope you don't mind. I printed up a copy of my speech this evening, and I will try not to read it too much. However, this is a speech in praise of someone very important to my life, and I want to make sure I have it all right. I met this particular police officer in Hattiesburg, Mississippi on April 15th, 2018. Hattiesburg is the home of the University of Southern Mississippi. That's where I graduated from college about 16 years ago. I'm not going to give this police officer's name because I'm absolutely sure that he's too humble to accept all the praise that I'm going to give him during this speech. He introduced himself to me early that morning, forming a connection with me that I will never forget. The officer changed my life in ways that neither he nor I could have possibly imagined the weekend we met. He changed the trajectory of my life as I prepared to drive home from celebrating an acquaintance's birthday earlier that evening. He and I most recently saw each other on May 17th, 2018, less than 2 months before I moved here to Washington, D.C. The officer arrested me for a crime I did not commit. DUI, first offense. His actions and his behavior created a chain of events that included me spending 2 days in jail, losing my job as a newspaper reporter in my hometown. The officer gave untruthful and factually incorrect testimony during my criminal trial a month and 2 days after he arrested me. During the trial, he testified that he smelled alcohol on me in my car, that he heard my voice slurred, that I had trouble standing and walking. He also said his partner administered a field sobriety test to me. None of that's true. Thankfully, an analysis of my blood alcohol content, contradictory testimony from his patrol partner, and body camera footage the night I was arrested reflected reality. The Hattiesburg Municipal Court judge who presided over my trial issued a not guilty verdict 7 days after the trial. Many details exist related to my criminal arrest, the trial, and losing my job. But I want to focus on the officer who arrested me. After all, this speech is about praising him. Upon reflections with my interactions with the officer, his accomplishments helped make me a better person. Here are 5 of those. The officer showed me the importance of questioning authority. Sometimes authority figures make mistakes and do things they shouldn't. This officer patted me down for weapons and handcuffed me moments after my car was pulled over. That's when I questioned authority. I said, "Officer, why are you arresting me?" And he said, "I'm not arresting you, I'm detaining you." And I said, "Well, officer, why are you detaining me?" He said, "You didn't have your headlights on." See? If I had not asked questions, I would have never known I was being handcuffed, placed in a police car, taken to the police department for forgetting to turn on my headlights in a lighted neighborhood. Second, the officer helped connect me to a few men I'm thankful to have met. Men I met in jail. One such person is a 22-year-old man who worked at a chicken processing plant in a nearby community. His parents died when he was 4 years old, and that led him to live at a home for kids with no parents. He told me he was arrested and spending time in jail because he owed unpaid fines related to a charge of possession of marijuana. Other men I met in jail were locked up for unpaid fines. One man was arrested just moments after dropping his kids off from school. I learned many people were in jail for being poor. Third, the officer helped me believe in myself even when others did not. In court, I said I was not guilty. Not guilty. Many attorneys I knew said I was really dumb for doing a couple of things I did. One thing I did was I posted what happened to me on social media. Working in journalism, I very much believe in transparency and honesty, and so that's what I did. And one attorney I did not know who posted on my Facebook post about that, he told me to face facts and accept that I was guilty and receive consequences for my actions. Despite a lot of people telling me I was crazy, I refused to accept nothing short of my innocence. Fourth, this police officer helped reinforce my belief that I can achieve my goals if I put my mind to it. A public defender was assigned to represent me. I knew public defenders are typically overworked and under-resourced. And so I decided to use my background in investigative journalism to research facts, acquire public records, analyze data, and make reasonable conclusions about my case. My belief in myself to provide critical information to my attorney, otherwise, to provide this information to my attorney, it otherwise would not have provided him information that was essential to proving I was not guilty. Fifth, this could be one of the most important. This police officer, he reinforced my desire to serve others. After an acquittal for a crime I did not commit, I moved here to Washington, D.C., and I committed to a term of service with AmeriCorps. This led me to Reading Partners, an organization that connects volunteer tutors with elementary school kids who are behind in reading skills. Reading Partners, it connects low-income schools with critical resources to kids who may otherwise not have access to them. My experience with the criminal justice system also convinced me to attend law school. I plan to earn a degree to advocate for people like those men I met in the Hattiesburg jail. Even though I haven't seen this police officer in 417 days, his impact on my life remains seismic. I never thanked him for arresting me for a crime I did not commit, and I never will. However, on the anniversary of me moving to Washington, D.C., I credit him for influencing me in ways I never could imagine, in helping me decide to pursue a career in public interest law, in emphasizing the importance for anyone accused of a crime to receive competent legal representation in a court of law. For all of these reasons and more, officer who arrested me, I consider you a better teacher than any professor at Harvard University could ever aspire to be.